Hey! Ho-ho! It's that time again! It's the Berkey and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wacky. It might even get a little zany. We're gonna talk about board games and the board game industry. And, you know, we might talk about anything else we want to talk about. Hey! It's that time again. It's the Berkey and Badger's Board Game Babble Show. How you doing, my friend? Barry Dubs a lot.
I'm doing very well, Mr. Kevin. No takesy back Meyer. No takes back Meyer.
No takes backs.
No takes backs. Yes, this is the Berkey and Badger Board Game Babble Show podcast, live YouTube streaming thing where we babble.
Live thingy.
Yes,
yeah, baby.
And we also do a podcast. So you can listen to this on the podcast and miss out on all the visual expressions, or you can watch this video live on YouTube and actually comment and talk back and forth with us. So
yes, talk back and forth with us. We'd love that.
Yes, let's go to the comments now. And
there they are.
I see
a lot of comments.
There's a lot of comments.
There's a lot of comments coming up. We're not going to be able to keep up with them all.
Oh.
There it goes. Oh, there's another one. Look at it go. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, that's very good. You're good at hi. There's someone called Board Game Theater Kevin Burkhardt Smile saying hi on the comment section. Hi. So Berkey, my man. What?
There we go. Now that's a good one.
How are you? That's very good.
Yeah. How about this one?
Come on. I'm ready. I'm watching with bated breath. We have Carl Willits. It says hi, Kevin, and hi, Barry. Hi, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
We have someone.
Carl, you joined us. Oh, that's it. There's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one, is it? Okay. What's your favorite color? Guess.
Yeah.
Read the toolbar.
Oh. Well, we better get right into it. So, Barry, tell us, what have you been up to, my friend?
What have I been up to? I've been up to lots of things. I'm going to cut things short because I've got a big list here.
Yeah, big list.
About 3 years ago, I was writing a kind of comedy sketch with for a friend of mine at the Gamers Table.
Yeah, and I really appreciated it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a back and forth kind of stupid sketch that I wrote for him, and I filmed it as well. So he make a video to it, and he's only just done the second part of it recently after 3 years, and that was kind of freaky to see and remember that I'd done this character and done this sketch. So you might want to go check it out on the what did I say it was? It's been a while. It's been a while. The Gamers Table, or you can go to my YouTube channel and find it there as well, under my favorite section. What else? Bad news. I lost a lot of music. Some of the music that you hear in this show has gone missing. Well, the bass files have, so how I arranged it and recorded it. So yeah, I'm a bit narked about losing files, and it must have been when I was cleaning out some of the files of all the audio podcast edits that I did. So I'm very unhappy, and I'm going to have to start from scratch, I'm afraid. So that's narked me. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the harvest is here. So I'm going to be busy for a couple of weeks picking grapes. Ooh.
Ah, the grapes.
Yes. So, or I'm going to be watching people pick grapes.
You'll be mushing the grapes with your toes.
I will do. So, yes, lots of things happening, lots of work coming on. Lots of videos. Just published my review of Galaxy Truckers, which is really, really funny. And Paul Grogan loves.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I haven't had time to take a look at it. That sounded fun.
Yeah. So what have you been up to then, my chap? Berkey.
Well, it's been a busy time. I'm still working on Board Game Theater, our Royals production that will be out shortly. Had a little bit of the con crud. The only thing was the con was at my house. And all I got was crud, no con. God! No, but
Nottingham.
Yeah, he got it too.
Yeah, okay.
Long as it goes around, that's all that matters.
What goes around, goes around, goes around, goes and comes away. I'm in a singing mood. Sorry.
Oh, I can tell. I can tell. Listen to the bloopers on this show, and you'll know at the end of the show what was going on. Yes, no, I've been up to doing something really cool. As many of you know, I'm a big fantasy football fan. Been playing for about 20 years, back when we had to do all the stats by hand, and been a commissioner of several leagues. We got talking to some podcasters out on the Twittersphere, the Twittersverse, or whatever you call that thing, and they were twitting about things, and I posted a picture of my fantasy football helmet and said, "How many of you gamers are into fantasy football?" Well, before you know it, people started talking. I did a little thread, went to ESPN.com and set up a fantasy football league. And what do you know? A whole bunch of my buddies in the podcasting world and the gamer universe joined in. And we started a league called Gamers United, Board Gamers United. And my team is all the King's Men, of course. We got Brandon Nall, the Albuquerque Brawling Brothers, Donald Lyles, Space for Hire, Scott Morris, Tox, Crits Happen, and Anthony Ricano, Po-Town Punishers. Yeah, the Punishers, they getting punished too because they 0-1, baby. Yeah, 0-1, baby. And then Loud Peg, Rob Rouse from Blue Peg, Pink Peg. He's 1-0, actually. He did have a good game. And Tim Norris from Gray Elephant Gaming. Oh, and the one and the only Lance Meister, the Draugr Death Lords, are 0-1. Yeah, they took a fall, baby. And Marty Cannell, Week 2 bye is his team. And I'm just going to say to Marty, bye-bye, because you're going down. He's 0-1. And the Geek All-Stars, Dan Patrice, he's 0-1 as well. So we've got a lot of intrigue. This is so much fun. I got to tell you, we've got a Twitter feed that we're all joining in on and having so much fun. Just interacting with them. These guys are all trash talkers, and it's just been a hoot. And it just happened by a whim. Wasn't very organized, but we're having fun with it. So that's one thing that I've been up to, and getting excited to do the show today.
Great stuff. So am I. So we'll move into the things that have been making us go,
Things
Wonderful.
that make us go, Board game news. Berkey and Badger reflect on the current events that are happening in the board game industry. Some may be good, some may be bad, but there are all things that make us go,
Ooh, yeah.
and
You go, Do.
yes.
Oh, think what's been making you go, Barry?
Oh, my belly. It's starting to gurgle. Okay.
Second.
You may remember a while ago, I announced in the things that make you go section that Fantasy Flight did this surprise release for a second edition of Matches of Madness. And that made me go, because I did want to get Matches of Madness. And the fact that they bring out this new version, which uses the app as a bad guy, was fantastic idea because I'd played Descent with the app, and that works really well. So obviously, what happens when a game comes out? Yes, you want to find out as much as possible about that game. So yeah, I started looking at videos popping up on YouTube, and I'm a bit narked by the fact that there's about, at this moment in time, 10 box opening videos from Mansions of Madness. And yeah, and this made me go, huh? And it's like, yeah, they're getting 2,000, 4,000 views, and it's just someone going, right, inside the box, oh yes, this cover's made of cardboard. Inside the box we have, I'm gonna have to punch all these out. These are really nice. And I'm like, wow, who watches videos like that? And thankfully, there are some reviews out there, so you can see all the components and learn about the game. But I'm just getting a bit narked and oh yeah, things that make you go. It's box opening videos.
It's kind of funny though. Some of those box opening videos get an awful lot of hits. I agree. Yeah. They're kind of boring, but if someone just wants to quickly look at a bunch of quick or components. You know, I don't know why they have an appeal. They don't really appeal to me either. But beards and board games are there. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Jordy.
I like that guy.
Do any of you guys out there, while we're talking about it, do you find these videos interesting? I mean, I could film it like me opening a box of cereal and taking out the contents and showing you each cornflake one by one.
Kabuki Kid, how are ya? Good to see you again. I would open up a box of Lucky Charms. That's what I would do because I love those little marshmallows, you know?
Yeah. Or maybe a box of cereal with a special present in it, you know? That might be a good box opening video.
Oh, I used to love that when I was a kid. Man, you couldn't wait to dig in that box, get your arm all the way up to your elbow and try to find that thing. Oh, yeah. You didn't care about the food. Just dump the whole thing out and throw it away. You just wanted that little toy.
No. In our family, we had to whoever poured out their bowl of cereal and the toy fell out with it, that was theirs. There was no putting your hand in and stuff. And yeah, when I see my daughter do it, it's like the first thing she does is open the box, puts her hand in, pulls out the toy. She forgets about the cereal. She forgets that she's got to get dressed and washed as well to go to school. And she's got the toy and she's like, woo! It's like,
and there's nothing about sanitary stuff anymore either, right? Nothing about that we just picked our nose or whatever and dumped it in there.
Yeah, you know, when you've just woken up in the morning, your hands are not going to be that clean. You know, you've probably just been to the toilet and you haven't washed them. You're still half asleep. Like, I mean,
we are so off the rails, but I remember taking a whole box of sugar cereal that my mom hardly would ever buy, but Saturday morning cartoons. And 6 o'clock in the morning when all the lines were still on the TV and you couldn't wait to watch cartoons and have that bowl of cereal that in front of you, and you sat there for 4 hours watching cartoons. Anybody with me?
My daughter probably, yeah.
What was your favorite cartoon, by the way, when you grew up?
My favorite cartoon? Oh, dear.
Yeah, your cartoon show.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo was good. I watched Scooby-Doo. My favorite was Hong Kong Phooey. Nothing but a super guy. Hong Kong Phooey. He had that cap that always made him look smart, you know, and he was such an inept fool, but it was fun.
Yeah. But Jordy says that he enjoys box opening videos, like the others.
So Jordy LaForge?
Yeah, it's Jordy LaForge. Because his copy of the others is stuck in Singapore somewhere. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, that would make me want to watch it too, I guess.
Yeah. Moving right along.
Right along.
You going?
Well, something that made me go on, and it's interesting you mentioned Fantasy Flight with Mansions of Madness. You know, they have a spin-off company, you know, that's doing some of these older remake games. But with Asmodee North America acquiring all of these companies, you know, they acquired Days of Wonder. And I just noticed that Days of Wonder has just put out a new game called Small World, A River Runs Through, which is expanding the whole Small World universe. Now, of course, they have other expansions to that game. But what made it interesting to me and made me go, was Fantasy Flight is known for dumping all kinds of expansions. Descent, it's got this. And, you know, whatever game Fantasy Flight, it seems like their model is to really just pop out tons of expansions. Now that they've acquired Days of Wonder, Small World is in the fold, a popular game. Is this a thing to come that we're going to have a whole bunch of expansions now and add-ons to Small World? Is Days of Wonder now going to be a model like Fantasy Flight where, you know, tons of these expansions? I'm not against expansions. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's just a natural order of things. I mean, look at Dominion and look at many other games, you know, because they've been popular and they've sold well. They probably have all these other ideas sitting in the wings that the designers are testing and thinking, well, do I do a new game or do I just add something new to a game which is selling well? And the best thing to do to get lots of money is to just add something new to something that's already existing and already popular, which is, you know, not a bad thing because sometimes you'll take, for example, Arkham Horror. there's a good element in one expansion which is not in the other expansions, and then there's a good element in the other expansion, and you can pick and pull what you want and make the game you give it that personal touch. So I mean, it's a good idea, but at the same time, it's gonna suck you dry like a vampire eating cheese.
Well, I hear you. I'm kind of the mindset that, it's, I don't know, I'm kind of a completionist. So I can see my wallet draining in because I'm going to want this expansion.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of interesting. People are going blitzo on the chat talking about cartoons. We opened up a can of worms or a can of something, but people are saying Curly T. She says Yosemite Sam was my favorite. Her husband loved Hong Kong Phooey. See, there you go. He's got good taste. That's right.
Yosemite Sam?
Oh, God.
Cotton picking, blasted vermin.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more about. Yeah. What's up, Doc?
Slay there, Slimmy. Alley.
Fucker and fuckatash.
Fucker and fuckatash.
Okay, we better get back. So, anything else that's making you go, I have one other item, but.
Yeah, you go for it. I've got nothing.
All right.
A haircut.
You're good? Well, I thought this was going to love your hair, darling.
Okay, your darling. Yes, it is very
well.
good.
This is something, and I almost hesitated to talk about it because it made me feel a little weird. But the reason I was talking about it, I don't know. Well, I'll just talk about it and we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
But recently there was a lawsuit, and it was between Myriad Games and Zappa Games, and this is basically Zev Schlesinger and I just lost the name. Sorry. It was in the article and I just missed it here. Well, Paul Girardi. They were partners with Dan Yarrington from Myriad Games. I don't know all the details of everything, but there was a big lawsuit now that's going on. And then what happened subsequently, this was announced on the Dice Tower News. Then it was announced in some Board Game Geek threads, and I'm sure there's other threads that are there as well. And then Dan Yarrington, he also is part of Game Salute. They responded to this lawsuit saying, hey, we're going to fight this in court and that kind of thing. And I guess the point that I wanted to make about it and what made me go, it was kind of like, why are we talking about this in the board game hobby? I don't have an opinion because I don't know the details. I can make an opinion based on very inadequate information. Now, I might know Zev, I might know Dan, and I might make a judgment based on the person character that I know, and a lot of us might do that. But the truth is, I don't know squat. And all of a sudden, this is a big deal in board gaming, and everyone is making opinions, and everybody is posting all kinds of angry words, and I don't know the facts, so I'm not going to make a judgment. But it bothers me that the board game hobby is about this kind of stuff, and this is what we're talking about. I'm getting tired, to be honest with you, about a lot of the negativity in the board gaming community. Everybody's calling out somebody about something. Now, I'm not saying that Zev is doing anything wrong, because I think he's a great guy, and he might have just cause. The point that I'm making is that now it's the court of public opinion, and the loudest voices get to say what they say, and this is the normal thing. And that bothers me, because I got into gaming not to make a political statement. I got into gaming because of the love of the hobby and engaging with people. And I want to do that in the most positive way. And I've made mistakes in this, and that kind of stuff. But that's what gaming is to me. It's not all this sideshow stuff that seems to get a lot of attention.
Yeah, but I think that's just the progression of human nature, so to speak. I mean, 10 years ago, we didn't know how these board game companies did manufactured games, and then we do a bit digging. Someone puts a video up on YouTube, someone writes an article about, you know, oh, it's so and so, and then all of a sudden we got this we're starting to dig deeper. We want to know more about our hobby and what's behind the scenes, about the designers. I mean, I reckon maybe in about 4 years' time we'll be having arguments about why. I don't mean this nasty, but why Matt Leacock has divorced his wife. You know, I think things are going to get a bit more personal as time goes on in regards to board game history.
That just so sucks to me.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm probably kind of on a rant here a little, but I'm just, you know, it seems like everybody is trolling everybody for something.
Yeah.
And what's that?
Sorry, they're talking about beards.
Beards. Yeah, I got a beard. I'm sick of beards too. No, I'm not. I have always had a beard since high school. You believe that?
Wow.
Yep. Right after I got out of wrestling, I grew a beard because you weren't allowed to have one when you were a wrestler, but in our school district. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I just feel like this predisposition that we're supposed to call everybody out on everything. And I don't know what it is. It seems like in our country anyway, everybody is just charged up about something. If it isn't politics, it's this. If it isn't that, it's some social thing. If it isn't that, it's,
yeah.
I mean, you can't watch the NFL with everybody, you know, everybody's got an opinion about something there. And it's just so much anger and everybody's like on edge, it seems like. And I'm like, hey, let's have a good time playing games.
Yeah, it's the media. It's the way that media's. Look at baseball, maybe in the 50s. You didn't know anything about the players apart from their names. But nowadays, you know everything about their lives and where they live and how many kids they have with how many wives. It's just media and the way that this hobby has expanded and got people interested, and it's become hyper violent, just like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. Yes, exactly. Kabuki Kid.
Kabuki Kid, yeah.
I can't do my Muttley. Yes. So there's some
I just think it's interesting. This might be even a really good Babble topic. The problem with it is it seems like we can't talk about things that are polarizing civilly. It always turns into something that goes into this huge thread, and then everybody is either got to take sides and be very loud about it or not say anything, and because they're afraid you're going to offend somebody. And I don't know, the whole topic.
You know, the solution to that is to stop listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos and just play board games.
That's probably it. If you just stay off Twitter and Facebook and Reddit and don't watch blogs, and then you're probably okay.
Yeah.
So too bad that we're in that hobby. And this is kind of hypocritical, me even bringing up the stupid topic, because here we're talking about the topic that I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's just so, but that's why I struggled with even bringing it up. But I wish everybody, I wish everybody well in that situation. I hope right prevails. It's just, I think we should talk about board games.
Yes, let's talk about board games. Let's go. Let's go. Let's find the music track.
Woohoo! Woo! We're going to go right into the good, the not so bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
The not so bad. Wait for it. And the ugly.
There we go. We've got some interesting memes today for our good, the not so bad, and the ugly. What do we got going there, Barry?
Okay, because our subject is, he said, scrolling up the thing there. Oh, it does what? It does what? We've got, was it Tim the Tall Man? Yeah, Tim the Tall Man, whatever his name is.
Yes, Tim.
Yes, and because he's like a big know-it-all when he knows everything. Yes, he knows.
And we're talking about how to teach rules today. Of course, Tim the Tool Man Taylor. He thinks he knows everything, right?
Yes, yes, Taylor. That was the name. Yes. Okay. So our good meme, if you're watching this YouTube video, is of Tim and his buddy co-host chatting in the workshop. And Tim says, the key to teaching rules well is personality. That's why I'm so good at it. You sound like him there.
and Al says,
excuse my voice. You keep telling yourself that, Tim.
yeah, that's the good.
Yeah, and our not so bad has Tim in the backyard with his neighbor Wilson.
Oh, Wilson.
Yeah, I remembered.
Oh, and Tim says, oh, it only takes 1 brick and 1 wood to build a road?
And Wilson says, Tim, the wise old aged, listen while the rules are being explained.
Yeah, see, this is why I wore this was a little homage to my Gen Con 2014 Catan shirt. 1 brick, 1 wood.
Okay.
But there's a reference about listening to rules, which we're going to talk about in the Babble topic.
Yes.
And then the ugly.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh. We're going back to cartoons. Uh-oh. Okay, as Tim, he sat in the house with a piece of wood stuck to his head. And Tim is saying,
yeah. So super glue, it does what?
And his wife says, I told you to pay attention. Yeah.
I told you so, Tim. Yeah, well, what we're going to do is we're going to rank some games that we've been playing recently. These are just first impressions, as you know. These are not detailed reviews, but we're going to talk about a couple things that we've been playing, and we're going to give you the good, the not so bad, and the ugly. This rating system is, again, just the first impressions. If it's good, it's something we want to keep playing, delve into. If it's not so bad, it's like, well, it didn't really turn our crank, but it's okay. And then the ugly is like, oh boy, we want to throw this off the roof, or Barry wants to crush it into tea or something.
Yes. I want to crush
he does have
tea.
a beer.
Crush.
So what you been playing, Barry?
Okay, I'm going to start with a game called Dancing Eggs. It's by Habba. He said,
Habba.
Here we go, zoom in. Yeah, Dancing Eggs is a game for very, very young gamers. It says 5 and up, and it's basically a box of 12 eggs and 2 dice. And what you do is you roll 1 dice, and it has a chicken on it, and you've got to copy the action. If the chicken looks like he's calling. Sorry, did you want to say something?
No, I was just saying that I remember seeing that. That looks cool.
Yeah.
Are they hard boiled?
No, they're all plastic apart from one which is made of wood.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, that was a joke, was it?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I wasn't looking. I'm gonna remove my beard. It's starting to scratch.
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw that Lance. I was just watching that Kabuki Kid. There's a Lance gif in the corner, and he's sitting there going, yeah, that's Lancified. He's got his ads are even Lancified.
That's the good thing. I could put. Shall I put that up again, and we pretend we're saying something in Lance language.
Well, I don't know. We need one of those. We need one of those gifts. Look at him. There he is. Yeah.
I like watching the Berkey and Badger board game.
The entire game is a lot of fun. I just fell in love with it. I think you're going to love it too. The entire game is a lot of fun. I just fell in love with it. I think you're going to love it. The entire game is a lot of fun. I just fell in love with it. Okay.
Yeah. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow.
Okay, go ahead and tell us about your dancing eggs.
Okay. Dancing Eggs is a game by Habba. It's a box of 12 eggs. 11 of them are rubber and 1 of them is wood. And you have 2 dice. And on a player's turn, they sit around the table with the eggs and the dice. They roll one dice, and it has a chicken on it. And if the chicken's not doing anything, you don't do anything. If the chicken looks like he's going cockity-coo, you got to do cockity-coo. And the first player to do so takes one of the eggs. Now, they can take a rubber one or the wooden one. The wooden one's worth 2 points at the end of the game. The rubber one's worth 1. And there's some other actions, like the first player to grab the dice after it's been rolled, or someone will have to drop the dice from a height, and the first person, an egg from the height, and the first person to grab the egg keeps the egg. And then there's an action which will tell them to roll the other dice, and the other dice is something that the players will have to do. They'll have to either run around the table, and the first player to run around the table will pick up a dice, or I might have got that wrong, but I'll carry on anyway. No, the other dice tells you where to put the egg. There'll be a time when you'll have to put the egg maybe under your armpit. No, that's it. Sorry, I've mixed up the rules entirely. Let's
I love it.
it.
That's great.
I'm so good at this.
I love it. Way to go.
Go back to sleep.
I feel better now. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, the other dice, as soon as you pick up an egg, you roll the second dice. And the second dice will tell you where to put the egg. You either put it under your chin, under your arm, or in between your legs. And the game continues. And what will happen is eventually someone will drop an egg. And when they do, the game is over. And you count the points of the eggs wherever they are on your body and not the ones on the floor. Very light. Kids game. What do you think I think?
Oh, you're not sounding very excited about it, and you didn't explain it very well. So that was like I would have explained it. So I'm gonna say I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say you say it's ugly.
Oh no! This is Habba. It's not so bad. It's
not so bad.
It's more for the younger generation of gamers. This is a really stupid, crazy game, and it's by Robert Frager, who does lots of crazy, stupid games like Pingu Pingu and Dr. Eureka. It is great for the little ones, and again, if they're all about the same age, it's great. If you have someone who's a bit older, they're going to dominate the game. It's not balanced, but it's meant to be like an activity for young ones. It comes in a very nice box. It's great for the young ones, but not so great for us old ones. Oh, it can be. I mean, my wife had a good time playing it, so I mean, she would probably rate it good. She had a good old giggle trying to keep eggs under her arms and in between her knees and things like that. So, yeah, not too bad a game. Dancing eggs.
Well, yeah, it looked like a fun, light children's game. So, and I'd heard good things about it. Didn't know by the way you were describing it there. You fooled me there, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to think. That's what it was.
Well, I've been playing a game, and this is a game that I just recently received at Gen Con, and this is a game called 7 Ronin. You see that good?
I
7 Ronin, and that's by Gray Fox Games. 7 Ronin. In 7 Ronin, it's a 2-player game that you are playing back and forth. You are either the ninjas, which are represented by these little ninja tiles, or you are the 7 Ronin. And basically, you have this player board here. I'm showing it to you. And there are different zones on this player board. And whoever has control of a different zone has different abilities. You know, for instance, just to really get, you know, if you were on the watchtower, you can deal 1 wound to each Ronin on an adjacent village that's right next to the 2. If you're on the animal pen, you can choose a Ronin that must stay on the board. And there's actually 7 of these Ronin tiles. I don't know if I have them right side up there. And you'll see that there's wounds on these tiles. I got them upside down, sorry. There you go.
So I'm not looking.
And everybody has this player shield. Now, I really don't like player shields. Player shields always bug me because I'm always knocking them over.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, you have your information, and then each player has a board, and you're going to put your tokens on the different territories, and then you're going to reveal both boards, and everybody's going to put their stuff on and resolve the effects. And that's 7 Ronin basic overview from Gray Fox Games. What do you think I have to say about all that?
Well, it sounds quite. It looks small, kind of compact kind of game. It sounds like it plays quite quickly.
Pretty much in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay, it's Grey Fox Games.
Once you played it.
Yeah.
They made Champions of Midgard. They did Murder in Hong Kong, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. They got the new London Dread game that they're doing.
So far they're on a roll for great games. So I'm gonna say
they've put out some really, really wonderful games lately.
So I'm gonna say you think it's good.
Well, here you go. It's good.
Yay!
It's good. Actually, would have made. Yeah, we need applause. Did you lose the applause too?
No, I didn't lose the applause.
There we go. There we go. Well, I tell you, I got this game. I was really excited about it. I play with a lot of two-player games with my son, and when it comes to strategy games, we played this game 6 times. Okay. It was so much fun. I couldn't wait. I got my butt kicked. Okay. That's pretty much typical when I play with Josiah. But I mean, this going back, there's kind of like a bluffing aspect where you're trying to guess what the other person's doing, and yet you have to do what's strategically best. And basically at the end of the game, I should have explained this a little better, but if you've taken out all of the ninjas, you win. Or if the ninjas take out all of the Ronin, they win. And it plays over a short period of time. And you know that just these characters, and each one of these Ronin have a special character ability, and that just makes it really fun. And I just thought it was a hoot. I can't wait to play it again. The production value of the game is fantastic. Look at these thick cardboard Ronin tiles, the little ninja stars. I know some people were complaining about this ninja stars being so small, but I thought they were perfect. I loved them. There's a whole pile of them, you know, and you got 40 of them to start, and the game plays over this track. And game like this, I can't wait to play it again. I would highly encourage you, if you like that kind of back and forth type of gameplay, kind of got an abstract, but it's got that strategy feel and hidden information. I don't know, just loved it. Just
under the table, by the look of it, this hidden information.
Yeah,
keep looking under the table.
I dropped my box.
Oh,
I dropped my box. It was a box opening video segment.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up now. Goodbye.
Okay, so what else have you been playing, Barry?
Okay, very quickly, I played a brand new game by Frederick Henry. It's called Legendary Inventors. In fact, it's not even out yet. I played a very, very close to finished prototype. In Legendary Inventors, players will have a team of 4 inventors, and they will have some statistics on them for technology or design or science, chemistry. And each turn there'll be a group of inventions in the middle of the table. And what players are going to be doing is they're going to be using one of their inventors, and they tap their card and they put cubes on, the number of cubes for each of the things that they're qualified for. So say Leonardo da Vinci he had 1 on design and 1 on chemistry. You put a cube on these cards in the middle of the table. And once these inventions have been filled up with cubes, so like they might have different various amounts for chemistry, design, and other things which I can't remember, that's when you will divide out the rewards that are on that card. This goes on for 3 rounds, sorry, and the player who has accumulated the most points will win. And this is done by either upgrading your characters, because you can change their statistics and make them more intelligent, or give them more numbers into their skills, or by actually getting points for inventing something, and there's another way as well, which is interesting. So what do you think I think of this game?
Well, gosh, I don't know what to think. Can you put that graphic up real quick?
I can indeed.
Yeah. Is there a rating? Is there a rating on it yet?
No, because it's not even out yet.
Okay.
So there you go. There's some skills there. You've got. She's good at mechanics. She's got a mechanics skill of 1 and a design skill of 1, but she hasn't got chemistry and she hasn't got ideas. Whereas Albert Einstein over there, he's got ideas and he's got design, but no mechanics and chemistry.
Wow, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna say good.
It is good. Yes, well done, my man. It is good. It's Frederick Henry. It plays a bit like Splendor, a bit like Splendor, like his other game, the Builders. And as I said, you can upgrade these little circles. You can put a number in there, and it changes the number. So you can get skill levels up to higher and higher. And on the right there, you can see that they have like this prerequisite. If you manage to get, say, as a Lovelace, a level 3 in design, you can actually get a bonus 3 points. That was the other interesting way to get points there. So yeah, it was really, it gives me that Splendor feel. And as I said, it feels like the Builders, which is another Frederick Henry game, which I quite like. And it was really interesting. There's different ways to score points. And as I said, you've got the upgrade system and the way that you use the characters, and then you have to tap them back as well. That takes an action. So you have to really calculate your usage of the people and where you're gonna, what invention you're gonna put them on. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's coming out soon. I think it's coming out at Essen. So look out for that.
That was just kickstarted?
No. It's an actual production. It's from Bombayx. Yes, it's refugee lover of the Russian Queen.
Was that going to be available in the United States, North America?
It will be. It will be. It's Bombay, who is under Asmodee's wing. So expect that.
Wow, that sounds like a great theme.
Yeah.
Well, I've been playing the last one in this section. I've been playing a game that a lot of us are familiar with, and that is the new Codenames Pictures. Paul Grogan gonna love that.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. That one.
You got.
There we go.
Ta-da! Well, Codename Pictures, it's basically code names and it's got pictures, so we don't even have to explain it too much. The cards are a little bit different shape, you know, they're little squares. Here we got a teddy bear that has stripes on it, kind of like he's in jail. Here we've got a chair, you know, and there it's got a leg taken out, but in the seat of the chair is a crown, you know, so that's kind of interesting. Here we've got a fish bowl that has a mermaid in it. You know, there's a kayak or a boat, guy with a boat in the air flying with birds. And you put these, basically it's just like Codenames, except the grid is slightly smaller. It's one less row, and the map is like this here. They've got different characters now for the spies and everything like that, but it basically plays just like Codenames. So with that, Barry, what do you think I think about Codenames Pictures?
I think you think it's great because it is Codenames, but it's a kind of Dixit version of Codenames, I would say, but very, you know, simpler.
Well, get ready with your drop.
Oh, I got it wrong.
Not so bad.
I got it wrong. I was so confident you were going to say it's good.
Yeah, I love Codenames, but I played Codenames Pictures. A little caveat here. The artwork is in black and white, but the artwork is incredible. I mean, I'd have to say, I mean, it's just so evocative, the artwork, because it's so interesting, the little things that they've put in there. Yeah. We've only played it twice, so I haven't played it a ton. I love Codenames. But the reason I say not so bad as a first impression is obviously it's a great game. Obviously people are going to love this, but we had a horrible time trying to be able to get more than even 2 things together. Now we only played it a couple times, but getting a combo where we could get someone to say 3 or 4 of the items.
Wow.
Because of the variety. And so for us, it was just like, it was so brain burny almost. It seemed
kind of lateral thinking.
Well, I'm an artist, you know, I paint wildlife, I see these things, but for me to explain it then with a one word, I don't know, it was hard for all of us. And so I thought that was interesting that it just made us crunch so much. So I'm definitely going to keep playing it. We're going to try to figure it out a little more and see how other people feel about it. But I don't know, maybe it's just I just fell in love with Codenames so much because we bring that out all the time and it's always a hit. Where this one here was just like, oh, this is hard. And so I don't.
The word association is a lot more simpler than the image association.
For some reason, maybe it's because of the complexity of topics in each one of the picture. You know, there's, you know, there you got a mermaid in a fishbowl. You know, there you've got a chair with one leg taken out and a king's crown. And so trying to correlate that to another picture that has these unique things going on, trying to get one word to make that all make sense, it's more difficult for me anyway.
Yeah, Kabuki says she's heard both sides of the coin. Some prefer pictures and some prefer the original.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I wonder if people prefer the After Dark more than both of them.
Who knows?
Who knows? Apart from those people that keep it hidden behind closed doors.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for our the good, the not so bad, and the ugly. And we're going to move into our segment, The Knights of Babblelot, where we discuss the networks by Formal Ferret Games.
Cue music.
Welcome, welcome to the kingdom of Babblelot. In the castle of Babblelot sits Jerky and Badger, and they will be looking at a game that they have both played, and they will be seeing whether or not it is worthy of entering the kingdom of Babblelot. They will combine their scores, and if it reaches a 10, they have a special place at the table in the kingdom of Babblelot.
Ah! You have your gesture hat on.
Yeah, I think you can call it on. I don't know.
I should have my king's crown on.
Yes. Welcome to Babblelot, people, where we will be judging whether the networks should be invited into the kingdom of Babblelot and sit at the royal throne, or if it should be somewhere else.
Yes. Will it make it around the table, the board game table of Babblelot?
Yes. What will it be
doing?
Tell
us about our rating system.
Well, yes, what we'll be doing is we'll be giving this a score from 5 to 1. 5 is an absolute love. We must own this game and play it whenever possible. 4 is a very good, want it in our collection and love to play it numerous times. Number 3 is it's a good game. We'll play it occasionally, but not a must-have. A 2 is a somewhat of a problem with it. It's not exciting to play and wouldn't play it again. And a 1 is a hate it. Throw it off the highest tower of Babblelot. This is not my Merlin voice.
I should do my Merlin voice. Oh,
very well done.
Throw it off the tower with a lightning bolt attached to it. Yes. I sound like another old man from a very famous TV show.
You do well, sir. You do well, sir. Yes, and if we each rate it a 5, that is a combined score of 10, and it will make it to the board game table of Babblelot. Will it do it? We shall see. So tell us a little bit about the networks and its publisher.
Well, the publisher is Gil Hover. He comes from New Jersey, and it smells like popcorn.
That's what he said on our last episode. You're right.
Even though Mr. Bonacore disagreed with that, but
he goes, I don't smell popcorn. I smell sewage.
I smell Vulcan blood. I'm on Vulcan blood, baby. The Networks is a card drafting game where players are drafting cards from a pool because they're responsible for a TV channel and they want to put these TV shows on which are going to give them the highest viewer count. They'll also be picking up stars, and they'll also be picking up let's swap over to Jerky so he shows you the images while I chat. They will also be stars and adverts that you can pick up and put into your green room and then attach them to shows and hopefully put them in the right time slot to give you maximum scoring points. There are some kind of little caveats, like certain actors won't appear in anything apart from sports or comedy shows. Otherwise, their viewing figures are going to be lighter. You're going to be playing this game for 5 seasons, and it's the player who has the most viewers overall that is going to be crowned the winner.
Exactly. Basically, when you've got these player cards, one thing that I thought was interesting on the player card, for instance, you'll notice at the top here, you've got your channel, and everybody has their own channel. You also have a scoring track here that helps you calculate your viewers each turn. And you have your actions where you can develop a show, you can sign a star, or you can land an ad, or you can take a network card, or you can take one of your stars and ads that are in your green room and you can put them into one of your time slots, or you can end early and drop and budget. And if you drop and budget, you're going to get a certain reward, either in cash or in reviewers to do that.
It's a very useful playmat, so to speak. It's once you've learnt the game, you'll just reference, you won't need the instructions, you'll just reference that to see what your actions are and how to clean up after the round, which is always very useful. And again, the scoreboard is on the same kind of card, and it's made up of 3 parts. And again, that's very interesting. Didn't you find that interesting? That, you know, because it's a 1 to 5 player game, and so the stats on it are different. And so you can turn boards over, and they have tells you how many cards to put out each round.
Yeah, in fact, on the player board, depending on the player counts, here you can see the standard 4-player version. It has 2 sides of that. When you start out the game, you start with this side here, and then as soon as you play the first round, I don't know if you can really see that, but then it's going to flip over and the values change slightly. So you see here during the first round, for instance, when you're playing, if you're the first one to drop out, you're going to get $8 million.
Yeah, that's the great thing. Okay. All the information is on that scoreboard. You know, how much money you start with if you're in certain player order, and then obviously how many cards you need to place out. Very, very useful. Very, very good idea.
And like you say, the 5-star cards are going to come out. 4 ads are going to come out. When you flip it over into the second year, all of a sudden now, rather than just getting money, you get a choice. You could take 10 million in coin by going out first, or you could get 5 viewers. So now there's some tension. There's a lot of points that are scored in this game. There's a possibility of scoring as many as 300 points. And so what I thought was kind of neat about this playboard here is they've got this little tracker, and you get 1 extra of your little cubes that allows you to count up the score of your viewers. So it makes it a little simpler at the end of each season to be able to actually go in there and add up your score. And speaking of scoring, it's an interesting turn mechanism as to who goes first. I don't have the right one here. Here's the turn order card. You'll see right here. At the beginning of the game, it's selected randomly, and if you go first, you get less money than if you go last. But at the way there's kind of a little catch-up mechanism in the game that I think is brilliant, that when you are last in the points, you actually get to go first in the turn order for that next season. And so that is constantly changing, this turn order.
Yeah, unless you're constantly rubbish at the game and you're always going to be first because you're at the back.
My last gameplay, I was almost 3rd the entire game.
Yeah, didn't move much then.
Yeah, didn't move too much.
So what do you think?
So what do you think?
So what do you
ahead.
think? What do you think?
What do you think?
What do
No,
you
I asked you first.
Go on.
No saybacks.
No setbacks.
Well, let's talk about the actual components a little bit of the game. We've kind of explained the gameplay. Maybe we've been a little generic here, but we should probably talk about the time slots. The time slots in the game, we have an 8 o'clock, a 9 o'clock, and a 10 o'clock. And certain ads and certain games, like for instance right here, we've got a show called North Lawn, which I think is kind of interesting because if you've seen the show South Park, this is kind of a parody opposite of that. And each one of these,
I didn't know that.
and this one here shows 10 p.m. So if we get this in the 10 p.m. time slot, we're going to have a little cube. If it's in the 10 p.m. time slot, we're going to get 6 points for that. But if we put it in the 9 o'clock spot, which isn't its appropriated spot, we're only going to get 1 point. And so it's important, and that only happens in the first season when you start your show. But that's an important deal. And likewise, the ads and the stars, they will all have that type of mechanism. Some of them don't, but a lot of them do.
Yeah, each card and each show and each actor has 4 different numbers, which change as the years go on in the show, and they normally go downwards and downwards. So you have to replace the show as soon as it gets into like its 3rd or 4th season. Otherwise, you're not going to get many viewers at all, and that's viewers are points. So
viewers are. Tell us how we get all of these ads and cards and network cards and so forth.
Well, it's just a simple case of a pool. All these cards are placed out in a pool. The number is written on the reference sheet of the score track. And on a player's turn, they can take one of the actors, or they can take one of the commercials, or they can take a show and they have to schedule it immediately, or they can take a network card. Now, the actors you'll have to pay for, the adverts you'll get money for, and the shows you'll have to pay for as well. But as I said, you have to put it in its slot. And some of these cards have prerequisites, which tell you that it has to have an actor or it has to have an ad. And later on, as the seasons go on, you're going to need maybe 2 actors or an actor and an ad, or maybe something additional. And so you have to plan ahead. You look at all these cards, you go, right, I want this card and I want that card. I'm going to put that show together because I've got a space at the 9 o'clock slot, and that TV show is a 9 o'clock spot. Also, these shows have different categories, so comedy, drama, romance, sport. And so that's going to tie in with a bonus section that you can get. If you get a lot of comedies on your channel, then you're going to get a bonus. So you have to plan, and you take a card, and hopefully nobody else is taking that card before you take it, because that's what the game is. It is a drafting from this pool, and everyone wants the best numbers, and so you're trying to pick the best and screw over everyone else at the same time. And knowing when to stop is the problem.
Well, and that's where I think the game really shines. Is it's almost like a drafting system. And yet there's so many options, and it takes you a little while to scan. And this game takes a little bit of a footprint. You know, it spreads out on your board game table a little bit. But it's so amazing because you're trying to analyze, okay, well, there's 3 shows that are available for the 9 o'clock spot. There might be only 1 for the 8. So I really want that ad because it's going to give me 3 income, for instance. But if I don't get that 8 o'clock spot, so there's this tension that starts to happen that gets very exciting, and it engages everybody because you're trying to figure out your own puzzle. You're trying to figure it out, but you have to be aware what everybody else is doing, and you're kind of looking, oh, do they need, oh, no, they already have a show on 8 o'clock, so I'm probably good. I can let that 8 o'clock go, and I can take that ad. So everybody is interactive and engaged, and I thought that was great. Let me talk about these shows just a little bit. One thing, I think this is segueing a little bit to later in the discussion, but this is to do with components. The artwork on this game is really something. You know, it's just got this comedy feel to it. which is really cool. The icons are very easy to understand. Like Barry was discussing here, this card here means because it's in color, the star, you're required to have a star as a prerequisite to start the show. But we have a gray $sign, which means you could put an ad if you prefer. And it shows clearly the text is easy. From my old man eyes, I can see the text really good. I hate small fonts in games. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Here
it's great iconography, very clear. And once you played it a bit, you understand the iconography and its intentions.
Well, and these cards come out over these 5 seasons. You'll notice here we had season 1, here's season 2 and 3, here's season 4 and 5, and these both come out for 2 full seasons. And so there's a randomization of these deals. This one here is Person of Disinterest, which comes from Person of Interest, you know, the hit show. And this here, if you don't put it in the right category, after you go to the right time slot, there's different values. But we talked about at the end of the season that we collect our income, and I'm sorry for the shine here, and then we score our lineup and we do reruns. You'll notice on the bottom of these cards here, there are values. When this gets flipped over into your reruns, you're going to collect extra during the rerun phase. So that's an important consideration when you're buying a show. Also, the style of show. This is a science fiction show. Here we've got an action show. Here we've got one of the sitcom type shows, you know, the North Lawn. One thing that's really interesting too is these network cards. And the network cards, they look like this here. And each round they're flipped over, generally 4 of them. This here is a card that says it lets you keep up to 2 stars from a single show after you trash it. Here's another one that just gives you 5 viewers. Here's another one that just gives you $5 million. There's a strong economic version of what's going on here, because you have to manage your money so that you can buy the right shows and you can buy the right stars.
Yeah, it's very tight, the money sometimes.
It can be.
I've played, and you know, there's been a show that I thought, oh yeah, that's the 3rd one that I need of that type so I can get my bonus, and it's like, oh, I haven't got the money for it, or the actor, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where some of the rub is. Some of these, like this particular actor, I love this, the guy who shouts all the time. Well, you notice it costs you $3 million to buy this guy. Now he's going to give you significant amounts of points the first 2 seasons, 3 and 3 viewers, but it also creates 1 income of upkeep during the season. So you have to manage your money to pay for this upkeep, or you lose viewers.
Yeah.
And I thought that was something that was crazy. I've never seen it before. If you don't have exactly enough money, then you have to go in there and actually pay the entire amount in viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a good way of balancing the game, because there are times when you might find yourself a bit low on money and you can't pay the overall costs at the end of the round, at the end of the season. And so it's a case of, well, I've got to lose 3 million, but I've got 2 million, so I'm going to have to lose 3 points. But there's always that chance that you can re-roll and catch back up, which is good, and it's fair. As far
well,
as
and that's where some of these advertising cards, you get money immediately to acquire it. So like for this one here, this is called Stay Tuned for More.
Yeah.
And you collect 1 million right off the bat, but then this one here actually gets you 2 million in upkeep. So if you were paying 1 million, this one here gains you 2 million. So you're actually increasing $1 million. But then it also says that if you don't pay $3 million at the bottom, you have to rotate this card. When you rotate it, then the value is less. You're only going to get 2 million, and you're going to lose the points.
Yeah, you're going to lose the viewers. And so it's a juggling act that you have to do. You have to think of what cards you want, because you're going to have like a starting 3 shows, and they're going to have styles, a comedy or a sport or something. And so they might be a good starting base for shows that you should pick up during the game to get you the bonus. And the bonus is once you get three comedies or 3 dramas, you can take either 2 or 3 cards from the draw pile of the actors or the shows, and you can keep one for free, which is a great bonus. But and again, it gives you that target to go for. So there's a bit of, you know, an agenda for the players. It's not just a case of going for the shows with the big numbers or the shows with the cheapest amounts of money, but you have to weigh everything up. And again, it can get frustrating if you don't like these type of games where you want that card, but that person before you is just taking it, and it's like, okay, so what am I going to do now? So you do have to kind of pre-plan ahead. You have to not just have a plan A, but you need plan B, plan C, and plan D as well. And then there's always the, oh, I'm going to drop out this season. Forget it. I'm going to take the big load of money, and I'll wait for
the viewers.
Round. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it does. It can be frustrating because you might have gone, oh, I really, really, really need that one. But there is always a plan B. There's always lots of options. And generally, until the very end, then there's always usually good options. So it doesn't feel so horrible, and yet you have that optimal move. And that's what I think creates that tension. I love these particular, everything has this comic feel, you know, like here we have the potato nator.
Yeah. Can I just say about the artwork? I didn't find it that interesting. I didn't find it didn't represent the shows or the actors that it was supposed to be. And even with the caption on top, I still didn't figure out a lot of the show. So I kind of lost a lot of the humor. Maybe it's in the American side, it's you can associate to it. But for me, the art was very vivid. And so it was very hard to detect what kind of show it was supposed to mimic. Not that that's important. All in the important information, like how many viewers, what type of show it is, what the consequences are if you put this show on the wrong thing, is all clear. And so you can play the game by just looking at the info and not looking at an image of a bloke stood near a tree and the caption says "found" and try and figure out.
Yeah, I found that some of the cards. Yeah, I hear you totally. Some of the cards they weren't relevant to me because I didn't know the subject matter, but a lot of them I did, like these stars, for instance. The guy who shouts all the time, I think, is made from that guy Kramer that's on the MSN or whatever. And here we've got the public television legend. Well, of course, that's Bob Ross. Let's paint a happy mountain. Oh, let's put a happy picture right there.
He's got no beard. I swear he had a beard.
I think he did. And then I love this guy. This just cracks me up. The comedian that your parents like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching Shimoleski Fun Time, you know. The kids don't get it, but we like it.
Yeah, it's kind of humor, I would say, much in the line of Munchkin. You're gonna maybe laugh at something like Dr. Watt, but after your 3rd playthrough, you're not gonna laugh too much. It's just gonna be you're looking at the stats. You're looking at the stats to find out which is the best way that you're gonna win. And
I know. I heard Gil Hova on a podcast, and they did a contest where a couple ideas for cards. They won the game or whatever, but they're talking about an expansion, and it would be interesting for them to. I mean, there's so many things they could do with expansions for the theme of the game.
Yeah.
And provide that whimsical. I don't know. For me, the art and the whimsical nature of it added a little bit of value to the gameplay.
Okay. What do you think about the network cards as an option?
Well, I thought the network cards were, some of them seemed just like, oh, I really, really need to get that. But it depends upon what you were doing. So I think the network cards actually provide a lot of variability in the game. Because depending on what you're playing, if I've got an 8 o'clock time slot and I've got 2 stars in there, well, if one of those cards comes up and says that if I take this card, when I trash one of those shows, I can keep 2 stars so I don't have to buy them again, that card then becomes very important to me. And so I may forego getting a show that I want or an ad and grab that card. But that's not going to happen every time. It depends on how the game plays. And so I think they provide a lot of variability. I've played this game about 5 times, so I don't know if it's perfectly balanced, but knowing Gil Hova, I think there's probably a lot of balance that's been figured into those cards. But sometimes they seem like that one's the really good one and the other ones are just okay.
In the 3 games that I've played, they've always been like a last resort to go to when there's no good TV shows and there's no money to be made from adverts. It's like, oh, I'll pick that up instead. There are 3 different types of cards. There's your basic set of network cards, which you can play with all games. There's an advanced set, which Kevin's just talked about, the one where you can save stars and for when they get cancelled. And then there's interactive cards, which I find are just like take that cards. We played a game.
There's actually the advanced network cards.
Yeah.
And we looked at those. Yeah, they have these. They have the little A and the I on them.
Yeah, so they're very easy to sort out.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about how to play with them or not. We found that these cards, you have to not be sensitive. I mean, they're really take that.
Yeah.
So these like allow you to take something from an opponent sometimes, and so if you like that kind of adversarial play, you'll like that. It provides extra variability. We only looked through those cards. We didn't actually play with them yet.
Yeah, yeah. I've played with them, and they can be quite nasty take that cards. We had one game where someone twice after 2 seasons played the same card, and it was all the other players had to pay for the difference in between their outgoing and ingoings, and that stung a lot of people. And
well, that could cost a lot of viewers.
It didn't cost viewers, but it cost money, which made it hard for the next round when you've got no money to buy shows. So you have to start from scratch, and you have to.
But it could adverts. Because you can't plan for it.
Yeah, yeah. So the interactivity is you can't defend against it either. You can't just say, "Man, I've got this card." You can't do it. But I just found it a bit nasty.
That's why we didn't play it. I think sometimes that kind of gameplay, and I'm sure there's ways to mitigate it a little bit in the way the game is designed, but that kind of game style, it just screws you over too badly. Yeah. And unless everybody has got this attitude, let's go in there and this is what we're going to do, type of mentality, I don't know if it's not my kind of style. So that's why we haven't played with those extra cards, but it does provide variability in another gaming style.
Yeah, precisely.
Well, I think let's talk about the game. I think you can see the game out there. I don't know if you looked up the price on any of the social sites, what the network is selling for.
You never asked me to do that. Oh.
Yeah, you should know.
No, I shouldn't know. You should write it in the show notes. If I should know, it should be in the show notes.
I didn't write it in the show notes. I just used invisible ink.
Oh, you used the white font on the white screen, huh? The network.
You have to pee on it to reveal it. It's kind of like National Treasure.
No, I ain't doing that. Okay, first edition, $99. It says on the Geek Market.
No.
I'm looking on Board Game Geek. That's the only place I know. Is it cool?
Hey, you look there. I'm gonna go to cool stuff real quick.
You go to cool stuff and don't spend too much money while you're looking.
Oh, I got stuff on my wish list. I got to get $100 shipping.
Yes.
This makes good radio, right?
This makes great radio. I'll edit it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool stuff.
So we do a summary afterwards then of each of our thoughts.
Yes, we.
I have played it solo as well, and I found the solo a nice challenge. And after that one play, I almost got 300 points, which is more than what the goal was. I was quite impressed. It is a nice little brain burner puzzle thing. Which show should you take? Which actor should you pair up? But I didn't find it too difficult. It was kind of really logical. It's like, okay, that's going to give me bucket loads of viewers, and if I pair it with this actor, is going to give me bucket loads of viewers, and I put it at the right time, ka-ching! I've won. And again, there's the luck of the draw, because after you do an action in solo mode, you have to draw a network card from the deck. And on the bottom of these network cards, it tells you to remove some cards from the pool. So you're playing like an automated computer player. And what'll happen is, if it asks you to remove a card and it's not an actor, and there's got no act, if you're asked to remove a card and it says remove an actor and you've got no actors, you have to put one of these little tokens on this track. And what happens if this track fills up, you lose the game instantly. Luckily, that never happened, or maybe I played precautiously. And so I was able to zoom around, get major scores, no problems, without having to lose things that I wanted. And again, it's just a logical deduction of, right, I need to take the shows on the left-hand side of the pool, because they'll be the ones that I'll be removing when a network card tells me to remove it. A nice puzzle. Found it easy. I was quite surprised that I whipped its buttocks. But solo mode works really well. I was really impressed.
Awesome. Well,
how much is it?
I'm seeing the game go from retail from around $39 all the way to $49.95, and I think that's what the suggested retail is. I didn't find it actually on Cool Stuff, so I'm not sure if that was something I was doing wrong, but it wasn't coming up in the search. Yeah. I believe the game has sold very, very well within the print runs that Gil has done out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the rule book for a second. The rule book, you guys know how much I hate reading rules. You know, I'm always watching a video. Interesting enough, there was very few how to play videos that I could find. There was a couple review videos, but there really wasn't much that showed actual gameplay, which that surprised me. So I actually read the whole rule book. Yeah, baby.
Oh, wow.
And I found it to be actually pretty good.
Yeah.
There was very little that I had played it with my son teaching me how to play. But when we went back and played again this last game night with 4 players, I went through the whole thing, and everything seemed pretty much in order. There's a really nice appendices in the back, or a card almanac that they've included.
Yep.
That explains things. So that was very helpful. I found that the way that each section of gameplay was outlined, it wasn't overly complicated. It seemed pretty quick to get through it. Nice pictures and iconography. And so I'm not Gil is a brilliant guy, but obviously he did his homework and really did a nice job on the rules.
Yeah, the rule book reads perfectly. It's got perfect examples. It's in the right order. Everything's easy to find. There's nice repeatability. It's where they say something at like page 4, but then they repeat it in page 8 as well, because like maybe a word is associated with something, and so it reinforces everything, which is what I like. Instead of you having to flick back and find out what cancelling a show does, it says, well, when you cancel a show, it means this, this, this. So very well written rule book. It explains the game perfectly, and you only have to read it once. Oh, I only had to read it once with a couple of references from time to time.
Oh, I had to read it. I had to overread a few times just to keep it in my head, but that's me. So what about components of the game?
Components are okay. They're cubes and they're cards. The boards are okay. They're not that great. Again, I'm not a big fan of the scoreboard. It works practically in your head, but when it's on the table, it gets knocked, which is annoying. But the cubes don't move that far, unlike a lot of other games. And it works. It's practical. Yeah.
One thing I did like about the player boards, the cardboard is real chunky, really nice weight, so they don't bow. Personally, I found the artwork really intriguing, and I loved it, even though it was kind of whimsical and sketchy. But I really loved the player aid on each person's.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It was perfect. It wasn't a separate card. It played right into your main player board, and it was just so easy to understand. Once you've had the game explained to you, all you had to do is run down and look at this thing. It was that good. You
don't need the rule book afterwards, which is a great thing.
That was super enjoyable for me.
And again, the scoreboard on your thing. So at the end of the season, everyone's counting their scores up individually on here, and it just makes the game flow a bit quicker. It's really, really, really good.
Kabuki Kid said rule books are famously games Achilles heels. And man, that's just a huge point. So many times reviewers are complaining about the rule book.
It depends who writes them, though, doesn't it?
It's true. It's true.
So
what do you think? What do you think about variability of the game then?
Variability. Well, what does that mean?
You know, variability. How often, you know, how it's going to be different every time you play. Does it have legs to you know, or is it the same old?
For me, it's the same old. It is a stat game. You're going to want the biggest numbers, and so it's a no-brainer. In all the games that I've played, nobody ever put an actor which you had to flip around on a show. It was a case of, right, I want that show because it's got that many viewers, and I've got that time slot because that show needs to be cancelled. And so I need an actor which is not going to be flipped around. So there was none of that. It's common sense. You pick the thing that you want, and if someone else got it, you found a second thing to do. The only thing that makes it replayability is the network cards, but I wasn't a big fan of the network cards. It was like, oh, 5 million, you take 5 million. Why couldn't they have like some theme on them? Some thematic text which would have made it maybe a bit more interesting to tie in. One of the things I thought of is, why don't they have a card which says, play this on any player's actor. Their actor has, you know, overindulged themselves in sex, drugs, and rock and roll from their fame, and they've done an overdose and killed themselves. So you kill that actor. You know, some flavored text instead of tell another player to flip their card around, or tell another player that they have to do this. So
hey, I'm doing a live podcast. Hey, everybody, my daughter Maddie is on the phone.
Is that the crazy
And
one?
so she says hi to all of you viewers out there in the board game universe. She says she does say hi. They make amazing. Don't you like this? This is live. We should get back to our review. All right, honey, I'll call you back later because I'm doing a live podcast and the whole world is waiting to hear what I have to say.
I'm waiting for my dinner.
Oh, and she's wondering what game we're going to play tonight.
Ooh.
Okay, see you later, honey. Love you.
Yeah, so for me, replayability is, yeah, it's just the same old. There's not a lot of variety in the cards. They're basically the same thing, but with different names on. You know, they pay the same amount for this actor as another actor, and they have slightly different stats, and they all have different. You either rotate them or you don't rotate them. So
let me ask you a question. Have you played with 5 players?
Yes, very long. Very long.
Longer.
Yeah.
I haven't played with 5 yet. We've played with 4 and 3 and 2, but I haven't played a solo. How long did the solo game take you?
Solo was pretty quick, under about 40 minutes.
Had I not gotten ill, I was planning on doing that solo. I really wanted to try that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go on to our rating here and move on to our Babble topic. But let's see, we've got our rating of 1 to 5. You know, 5, we absolutely love this game. It's a must own. We'll play it whenever possible. 4 is where it's very good. We want it in our collection. We love to play it numerous times, just not a 5. 3, it's a good game. We'll play occasionally, but not a must have. And 2, it has some problems. Not excited to play it. Wouldn't own it. And 1 is we just hate it. Throw it off the roof. We want to burn it. And we don't care if anybody sees it.
I'll throw it off the roof. Should I go first then?
Yeah, Curly T, that was my daughter, Maddie, and she was wondering what we were going to play tonight. But the truth is, tonight we're going to play Networks.
5 players.
5 players, actually. You're correct.
Yeah.
It is going to be 5 players.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
We're dragging this out. I'm going to give it a rating of 3. It's a good game. I will play it occasionally, but it's not a must-have. I found it very kind of, as I've mentioned, Munchkin-like. It's got that nasty take that. It's got that nasty, you're drawing from a pool, but if someone takes what you want, it's like, it's not a real big brain burner, but it is a light to medium type of game, and I can see this being great for newbies. The theme is original and it works really well. But again, for me, I've played Primetime, which is a game of the same theme, and that's a lot more interactive nasty. It's not take that nasty. It's more someone's put a show on at a better time slot, which is taking the majority of viewers. So therefore, you've only got that left. And I enjoyed that. It was a big brain burner for me. But this game is, as I said, it's light, it's simple, it's very easy to learn, it's very quick to pick up. Within the second season, players will go, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I've got the flow. I've got the flow. But there's not much variety. Most of the cards are pretty much the same. But it works. It's a solid game.
Yeah, so you think it's a good game. You'll play occasionally, but not a must-have.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to rate it. Anybody guess? Oh, yeah, the Kabuki Kid.
Yeah.
It's like they know me. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
That's why you got the hat on. Just try and keep them out.
Absolutely. I rated a 4. It's very good. I want it in my collection and love to play it numerous times. It's just not quite a 5. I wouldn't say that this is in my top 50 of games. I have about 400 games in my collection. But I really like this game. I don't know for sure if we were to do a re-roll segment sometime down the road, if that would go down in the ratings. I have a sense that maybe it would, because there's so many other Euro games. This is, let's make no mistake about it, it's a Euro game. But I liked the Euro mechanics. It was mathy enough, and yet it wasn't that difficult. No. I love the fact that that there was this interaction between all of us, and we stayed engaged. I loved the puzzle of it, and I really did like the artwork. I thought the components were good. I didn't get the feeling you felt about Take That at all. Now, I didn't play with those advanced cards. I felt the frustration you talked about, where, oh, I really needed that one, and now I didn't get it. Ah, crap.
Yeah, it was the interactive cards which are more Take That than the advanced cards.
I felt it depended on the different games we played. In 2 of the 3 4-player games that we played, there was always a real tension to get those network cards, and they were very popular. The last gameplay, it seemed like there was just one of them that maybe we really wanted to get, and so they kind of got overlooked a little bit. So I was wondering about, you know, whether that was balanced that way, because that's a random factor. So I could understand if you don't like that, you know, you aren't going to like this, like, because there is that. But I felt this is great. I'll sit down and play this anytime. And I just think you did a really great job, and I can see why it's getting a lot of really good press. Gil, I think, knocked it out of the park. He's got a winner here. Yeah,
I think it is a good game. Let me just look. I'm just looking. The good thing is, again, these interactive cards you can take out because they're labeled interactive, and so you can play without them and just play with the advanced and the base set, or you can just play with the base set, or you can play with it all together. And then you've got a bit more variety because there's 2 of each type of card, and as you can see, there is quite a big stack of network cards there. So there's a lot of interactivity, if you call it interactivity, but I wouldn't say it was a Euro. I would say it was just a card game. Card games are not really Euros as such.
Well, this is. Oh, go ahead. This is a segment. Just I'll bring up real quick. We have given it a combined score of a 7. A combined score. So it didn't make it to our board game table of Babblelot. However, we think overall a 7 is a pretty good game.
Yeah, it's made it inside the marketplace at Babblelot in the Kingdom of Babblelot. There you go. Yes.
We're going to post on the Guild, and by we, I mean Barry is going to post on the Guild exactly how we see this combined rating and what part of the Kingdom of Babblelot it actually. So check us out at the Board Game Guild 2248. Yeah. See, there it is.
There it is. It's all blurry.
It's very blurry. It's very Bowie, Barry. So Barry, you have to put it on the Board Game Geek Guild.
Oh, we're back to Wabbit, huh? Whoa, Wabbit.
You wascally wabbit.
Wascally Wabbit.
So anyway, great game. We enjoyed the game. Give it a combined score of 7
out of 10. Yeah, very good.
Carl Willits made a comment in the section, and he said, and it's just scrolled right past me. He basically said, people are getting excited. They're talking about all kinds of stuff. Okay, well, Carl basically said that he really was enjoying the fact that we were doing a cooperative review and that we should do more of these. Well, for your information, we are doing the Knights of Babblelot segment every other episode. Every other episode, we generally are going to have a guest where we're going to do our game show and have some fun with that. But then on the subsequent episode, we are going to feature a game where we are going to do this cooperative review. So thank you for your comments and look forward to more of that coming up.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
All right, with that, we're going to move on to our Babble topic.
Okay, right. Babble.
We could do an Elmer Fudd review for the whole show, Kabuki Kid. All right, Babble.
Babble, I've lost the graphic again. Oh, there it is.
Did you lose it?
No, it's there. It's there. I just can't see it.
I can do it.
You add new stuff and it disappears. Ready? Babble music.
Live TV, baby.
Live TV. The speakers are
off the hook. Oh no.
It's time for the Babble, 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 Berkey and Badger's Board Game Babble Remix.
Hey! So tell us a little bit, Barry, about our Babble topic.
Okay, it does what? It does what is a question I hate getting asked when I'm teaching a game. What do you hate about teaching games? People talking on their phones while you're explaining the rules and stuff like that, so you have to repeat themselves.
Yeah.
Teaching the rules to a game correctly can make or break a game. Having a game taught to you in a particular way will make you either go out and buy it immediately or totally forget about it. Oh,
that's true.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So what tips do we have about giving people about games, teaching games?
Well, teaching games, my recommendation is go watch Paul Grogan at Gaming Rules Vids or Rodney at Watch It Played. Forget about reading rule books and just have somebody else tell you, or get your very smart son to read all the rule books for you. That's my advice.
Okay. Thanks for watching and good night.
Oh, teaching games. No, I tell you, for me, I'm a good teacher of a game that I understand well. If it's a first time through, I just suck. Man, I just suck.
What do you mean by first time through?
We just grit in the game and I'm just going through reading the directions and even if, I know part of what you're going to talk about is what the process is, but I generally, it takes me a certain amount of time to get through the rules and understand the game. And on that first time when I've never played the game, it seems like I'm not coherent. I'm not concise. It's boring. It's not exciting.
Okay.
And so I generally, until I've played a game 2 or 3 times, I generally won't teach it. Once I've played a game and I understand the rules, I actually teach it really, really well and can teach it concisely, leaving out a lot of the extraneous material that's not important and yet giving people a good feel of the game.
Yeah. So having a solo mode, does that help? Because I mean, that helps me. If a game has a solo option, I learn to play the game while I'm reading the rules because it's a solo game and I know what I'm trying to do then. And then I got this. It's like what I did with Networks. And it's like what I did with many other games. I play them solo. I get the gist of how the rules work. And then I have to show someone how to play it. And in most cases, I have to do it in French as well, which means I have to translate everything that I've read, everything I know into French, and I will miss rules. So yeah, that's one way that I do.
I feel so much pressure, so I think there's a insecurity when it comes to teaching a game that I don't know, because there's nothing worse to me than boring people and they're disengaged when you're teaching the game. You need to have it quick. You know, if that rules explanation goes for 30, 40 minutes, people just start to zone out, and I zone out. And that's where I think some of these rule vids, someone just commented, I think Carl, about having scanning codes on the box for rule vids. I think some of Rodney at Watch It Played has some of that. I think those are great ideas. My son has an uncanny ability to read a whole set of rules very quickly, understand the game, understand strategy, and know how to teach it. And so I think it's so important, because you play that one thing wrong, and after you're into a game, especially a 2-hour game or more, and then you find out you did it wrong. It's like, oh, we invested all this time, and okay, yeah, it's a learning game, but dang.
No, but I don't see that as a problem. I see that as a great exercise. If you made a wrong mistake in a wrong rule, like I've done with networks, I totally mucked up the order of, you know, the turn order the first time. I thought it was whoever quit first and got the big money would be the first player. Whoever quit second would be the second player. It's not that entirely, is it?
Well, so
it didn't destroy the game. It just made you think afterwards, okay, I need to remember next time. And that's happened to me many times where I've taught a rule wrong, or I've watched Paul Grogan's Galaxy Trucker video and I go, my God, I've been playing it wrong all these years. But you live and you learn.
Do you when you've studied a game and you know that you have a game group coming over and you're going to teach the game, do you kind of go through a pre-planned script or try to practice your presentation?
I have to, because normally it's in French. So I have to know as many words or find another way to get around those words to say what I need to say, and maybe put it into a context, which the person I know is going to understand. Again, that's one thing. Know your audience, who you're teaching the game to, because then you can adapt your teaching skill, because it might be with strangers. So therefore, you're going to want to get to the meat of the game as quick as possible. It may be with your best friends, who you can have a joke about and a lark, and so you can drag it out and get into depth, especially if they're interested in the theme. You know, teaching Firefly to Firefly fans, you can teach it quicker than you can teach it to Firefly.
You can throw in a little flavor and make it fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, because sometimes they don't need flavor, and sometimes they do need flavor. So it's really know your audience before you teach a game. And normally mine's French, and so I have to put in lots of French curse words.
So depending on your audience is how you're going to either, I don't want to say the word dumb down, but you're going to make it simpler or complex based on your audience. Yeah,
again, especially if I'm teaching my games to my daughter, I will dumb down the rules a bit to make it easy for her to understand, and then she'll get into the system and she'll have a different vocabulary.
I've had the opportunity to do demoing at conventions for different game companies, and prior to going into those atmospheres, for my own sense of well-being and the fact that I wanted people to have an enjoyable experience, to me it was a very thoughtful, big issue. So I took the extra time to make sure that I knew the game, and for me, I had to play the game several times and then know those nuances so that I could answer those questions that came up during the gameplay, and likewise that I could teach it. Like I can teach Royals now. I can teach that game in 5 minutes and really give people a good feeling, and we're right into the game. And so likewise, yes, you are. Badger's funny. He's very, very funny.
I don't know why I said that made her laugh. Yeah.
And then, but likewise, I think you know, that's part of the commitment you make if you're going to teach the game, because you want people to have a good experience, and it takes time. And our game night generally is on Tuesday nights, and I can't tell you how many times that I had good intentions to learn it in a way that would be quick, but my busy lifestyle, everything that's going on, I wasn't able to get there and make sure I had it all in order. And then I feel like, yeah.
Yeah. Again, knowing when to have a break in the rules as well, especially when you know that the rules are very long and tedious. Knowing when to go, okay, right, I'm going to teach you A, B, and C, but I'm not going to teach you D and E because we'll wait till we get to that point. Is always a useful tip. There's a guy that when I go to my game group, he teaches these big, heavy Euro games, and he goes through the whole rule book. He knows it inside out. And the game only came out yesterday, which is amazing. He maybe watched several videos and listened to it in his sleep. But he'll go through this rule book entirely to explain this game. And it's like, come on, I just want to play. Why didn't you just explain what I could do in my first turn? And then... and again, go on.
Oh, my good friend Jesse Shaky here in Fergus Falls. He likes to watch a video first and then read the rules. And I think that's an important thing, because the problem with just watching videos, inevitably, it's not going to connect all the dots.
No.
And so then you're doing game, and you need to ask people ask a question, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I got to go look in the rules. But sometimes it takes you a long time to go look in the rules. And so everybody's sitting there waiting. So, you know, if you're really going to teach the game, you really probably should have read the rules, unless you've played it enough that you understand how the game runs.
Yeah. Again, I've got to read the rules to Scythe, because I should be teaching it again soon to a bunch of friends. So that's going to be a nightmare. But I'm going to make sure that I know the rules inside out, and I know that there's going to be lots of questions that are going to be asked while I'm teaching.
Yeah, let's turn this whole thing right around. Let's say that we've been talking from the perspective of teaching a game. You know, how do you do that? So question, or why does it do that? So the question I have to you then, if you are the recipient, you are being taught the game, what advice do you give people that they can take to help that teacher and draw from them and or the rest of the game group?
Yeah, shut the up. just listen to the rules. I mean, I have this problem when I'm teaching my daughter a game. I'll be teaching her, and then she'll ask me a question which I'm going to answer in the next sentence, and it's like, just be quiet, because yeah, you don't know what that piece does, but I will explain it because it's in the rules and it's a protected part of the game, and I will get to that bridge when I finish talking about what that thing in front of you does. It's like,
that's the problem though. Sometimes when you're being taught a game, you can't you know, you've got this question and you don't know if it's going to be answered, and you don't want to forget the question, and so it's like, excuse me, can I ask this question? But when you're teaching the game, that's so horribly frustrating, right?
Yeah, it is horribly frustrating, especially if it's something that you know you're going to say. There are those occasions when you've totally forgotten a rule, when someone asks you what that does, and you go, oh yeah, I'll tell you about that later because I've totally forgot about it. But in a way, yeah, so in a way I'm counteracting myself there. That kind of works. Yeah, just...
You know what I end up doing that just drives my son nuts? He's a great job, and he generally is the rules teacher when we're having game night. But I'm always taking pictures of the actual gameplay while he's explaining the game board. I'm getting close-ups for our Facebook page, and he just stops. He'll stop teaching and look at me, and I go, "No, I got it." But you know, the truth is, sometimes I don't get it because I zoned out for a second, and I don't go back and go, "You didn't tell me that." I don't do that to him. No. But on the other side, he's like, "Would you just listen? Pay attention." Hey, McFly.
Yeah. It's the same with doing this podcast. We're looking at all these comments that people are leaving. Geordie's back. I don't know where he's been.
I don't know where
you been, Geordie?
He's been on Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, you should have been listening to the rules. Yeah. So again, I lose concentration if I do that. So again, that's another thing, when someone's teaching me the rules, especially in French, and they're talking too fast, and I don't understand this and I don't understand that, I don't ask questions because I'm falling asleep. I make a silly noise, or I make a stupid comment or a joke, which kind of wakes me up because everyone's laughing at me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit different.
It gives me a pause to think as well. So,
Well, I'm a little different because the game group that we have, they're very sharp. They're all engineers, actually, computer science and engineers.
And you're a woodwork guy. So.
Yeah, and I'm a small, you know. I've got a good 6th grade education, though. That's all I can say.
Brick, wood, road.
No, it's seriously, I comprehend pretty quickly, but if it's a heavier, more complex game, if you go through those sections too quick and move on, I'm still assimilating some of the information. And if I miss something that it feels like it's an important thing, I'll just say, excuse me, I'm sorry, but could you just say that one more time? And I don't feel bad about that because I don't want to be lost in the game and cause anyone, you know, problems. I try not to do that a ton, but it depends on the people you're playing with too. You know, you go through a 30-minute or 40-minute rules explanation of like Scythe or some other a little bit more detailed game. It's a lot to stay connected that long.
Mm.
My daughter Maddie, she just falls asleep during rules for some reason. It's funny.
Yeah.
She'll just start zoning out.
Deary me, short attention span. Wow. What's the panda do again? Eats the bamboo. Okay. And if I move it to the pink space, will it eat the bamboo? Yes, it'll eat the bamboo there as well.
It's like Tim the Tool Man. What did he say? He said, I only need 1 wood and 1 brick to build something in Catan.
Yeah, I'm going to build a city with. If I have 10 wood and 10 brick, can I build a city?
I told you. I told you. No, you didn't tell me. Yes, I did.
Yeah, there's that argument. It's like.
Yeah, there's an asterisk by the win because you didn't tell me.
Yeah. So where were we?
I don't know where we are. Hey, so basically we're talking about teaching games. How do we do this well? I think the bottom line is if you're going to teach a game, just be thoughtful. Do your homework, prepare. It's like anything else. Make it an enjoyable experience. If you don't have time to do that, then make sure that you have somebody else that can help out. There have been times that I haven't had the time to be thoughtful about it, but we wanted to play a game, and we pulled out Dan King, the Game Boy geek, and I was playing Raptor with my wife, and we both watched his review, and then we watched his how to play. And we both felt confident enough to play. I had to check the rules a couple times, but we got through it just fine. It was just cool.
Yeah.
But generally, if you've got
because I always make mistakes in my videos, so don't watch mine. Don't watch Raldo's because he makes mistakes as well.
Don't watch Tom. Don't watch it.
Don't watch Tom because he doesn't explain everything. He doesn't tell you what that black thing does in the middle.
Ding. Better ring the Stefania bell. You mentioned Tom.
Oh
Ding.
yeah, sorry. Good ching. Like you did as well. One apiece.
Oh, ring it twice. Ding.
Okay.
All
Sorry.
right.
Yeah. So,
well, last thing that we're going to talk about in the Babble, and this kind of goes along with teaching games, but it's also making these game experiences good. Do you take different versions of your game to game night to do the full-blown beautification?
yeah. Hashtag beautification.
Hashtag beautification.
So yeah,
That's a good question.
If you're going to a game night and you've got this new game and you've blinged it up and you've learnt the rules and you're going to teach it to people, do you take the blinged up version or do you just take the basic version which it came with all the bits and bobs?
Yeah, it depends for me. You know, a lot of times the game night is at my home on our Tuesday night, but I go up every other week up to my daughter's house and play with my son-in-laws and my 2 daughters up in Alec, about an hour away. And generally, I will always bring out my blinged out version. And what I mean by that, I've been coined as the game pimp master.
Royal Hail, the Royal King Pimp Master.
It sounds bad, but okay. What that means is that I love to trick out my games. I've got these Stonemaier chests from Jamie Stegmaier and Alan Stone, the Stonemaier stuff. I've got the little meat pieces. I've got the cool wood things. I've got the stones and the brick. You only need 2 brick.
Stones, have you, man?
You only need 2 brick to build a road, right?
Yeah, right.
Or do you need a brick and a bar of gold?
How about
Maybe
pink alien and a brown alien?
Yeah, whatever it is, but these things are awesome. Well, if you've got a game that's got wood and stone and gold, you better use them.
Yeah, but does that make the game better?
Absolutely, it makes it better. Are you crazy?
Yeah, what was that you said? I was playing with the wood and the brick here.
Exactly. I don't care if people are distracted. Play with the toys, baby.
Oh, no. Keep it basic.
Oh,
Keep it simple.
no. You're gonna play with cardboard? Are you kidding me?
Yes. Apart from dungeon pets, you've got to play with the upgraded wooden bits because the poo looks like poo instead of a cube.
You're playing Concordia, and you've got these cool little silk bags.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would agree that it makes it a bit more easy to reference what the goods are. I would agree with you there. That is a good idea. It makes it simpler on the eye and the brain to recognize that, you know, if you put carrots in the field, they're going to grow. If you put a sheep in the field, it's going to run away.
Yeah. I mean, it's if I'm doing too, and I don't know about you, but one of the big things that's really, really important to me is playing with coins versus cardboard.
Yeah.
And so I've got these little chests. I get these at Hobby Lobby. You can see back on my tape up on my shelf here. I've got all these little chests. You can usually get them 50% off and spend $3 for them.
My chest is here.
Yeah, I've got it. Keep it close to the chest.
Okay.
Look at these things. These are the feudal Japan coins. And you're playing a game that has that kind of theme, and you get to play with these super awesome coins.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you play with cardboard?
Yeah, it's just that quality of that ka-ching, if they ka-ching each other. It's ka-ching.
Oh, yeah. Another thing that I think is really cool, it was mentioned before about Baseball Highlights 2045. I think Kabuki Kid and them are talking about it.
Yeah, I think.
Well, they came out with this great big honking gaming mat. Well, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So if I'm playing Baseball Highlights, am I going to play on that little cardboard thing? No. Yeah, this thing is coming to the table, baby.
Yeah, it's probably going to draw more people to your table as well. So.
Well, it's just everything is better. And then this year, I got this game from Ryan at Mayday Games. It's a cool little game called Dead Man's Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's this little kind of trick-taking-ish type of game. But each player, they've got play mats for. And, I mean, you have this play mat in front of you playing this game versus just having them all laid out in front of you. It's way better.
Okay, I think we need to end this transmission because you're going to get out every single game that you blinged.
No,
Mr.
I got
King.
more stuff. I got more stuff.
No,
Yes,
we're talking about rules.
You're playing the Dragon and Flagon. You better have a coaster for your dragon. I got stuff. You got to wear the right shirt when you're playing Catan.
Oh, yeah, you got to wear yes. So,
how about inserts? Are you going to have a game that has an insert so you can pull out all your little toys really quick and easy?
Of course.
Yeah.
You're not going to put the original insert back in because you're taking it to game night and you're going to play with those 5-year-old kids that dribble over everything, are you? You're going to take the box. And as I said, having a blinged out beautification #beautification
#beautification
will bring people in to play your game. And that way you're going to have to learn to teach it different ways for people that just want to play the game because they're gamers and they know about what this does and what that does and they just want to know how to play this game. You're going to need to teach it to people that are new to gaming, so you have to go into deep exploration and maybe dumb the vocabulary down. You're going to need to know if you're playing with your best friends, you know, you're going to know the right vocabulary. Vocabulation?
Yeah.
Vocabulation let me down, but I'll still... Anyway, spit all over my desk.
Curly T, I have a bunch of playmats. I mean, we could do a show just about playmats.
Oh yeah, playmats.
Oh, and more playmats are coming.
I haven't got any playmats.
But wait, there's more.
No. So yeah, if you're playing with your friends, you're gonna interject humor. You're gonna break the rules down a bit better. And obviously, if they're into the same things as you are, they're gonna grasp the rules a lot quicker. So know your audience before you teach a game.
Yeah, and if I'm playing a game with a bunch of kids or something like that, that I'm worried about the components getting wrecked, I probably wouldn't bring them in that environment. But we have a local game night at our local library, and oftentimes, as long as I have time and have space, you know, I will bring some of the nicer tokens.
My favorite catchphrase is, "Don't put that in your mouth." As they've got their deck of cards and they go, "Is it my turn?"
Well, Barry, this has been a blast. We've talked about how to teach games and some things to do and not to do. We've talked about some games we've played, whether they were good, not so bad, or ugly. And we got the opportunity to talk about the hit game, The Networks by Formal Ferret Games, designed by Gil Hova. One last thing before we sign off is we want to let you guys know we have an awesome contest. The contest is the Dragon and Flagon. Mind blow. We should have mentioned it at the top of the show, so Barry's going to mention it again at the top of the show with a special ad because he's so smart. He's the post-production manager, right? Oh, yeah, look at him. Look how smart he is. That's smart. That's what smart looks like. Creative genius. That's what it is. I tell you, if you guys have watched the live hangout, but you haven't listened to the professional audio version where the sound effects, everything is put together, professionally audio mastered, Barry does an amazing job. You can check us out at iTunes. You can check us out on Stitcher Radio. But that being said, the Dragon and Flagon, you have a chance to win your own copy of the hit game, The Dragon and Flagon by Stronghold Games. And all you have to do is go to boardgametheater.com or boardgameseverybodyshould.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, Berkey and Badger, and you can enter our Gleam application. And this will allow you to subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to our Facebook and Twitter channels. You'll get entries into the contest, and you will also have the My Dragon contest. What that is you hashtag My Dragon. This is your favorite drink that you like to have. And you'll say the type of drink. It would be great if you post a picture of you and your drink, and then you hashtag My Dragon, and include Berkey and Badger, include Stronghold Games. This will give you up to 3 extra entries to the contest. There's only 5 more days to get in on this. There's about, I think, about 1,400 entries right now. So there's a good opportunity. You can get up to 10 entries to win your copy of Dragon and Flagon, or some of the Dragon and Flagon pint glasses.
Tasty. And it is a nice looking game, and I can't wait to play it properly instead of playing it on my own, knowing that I'm going to throw a beer glass at one character and then that character is going to push the table into another character. So I'm looking forward to playing it with real players. Now I know. Yeah,
I'm excited about it too. The components look fantastic, and being able to play up to 8 players. Stephen Bonacore was on our show recently and was so gracious to allow us to do this giveaway. So we want to thank Stephen from Stronghold Games, and really encourage you to check it out. We think this is a win here. So
yeah. So read the rules before you play.
So how else? Yes, and have someone teach you the rules.
Don't watch a video.
Would you teach me the rules?
I can teach you the rules. Do you want to do it now?
You can. We should do a live teaching the rules via a Google Hangout. Who'd like to watch that?
I think it would be, it would be interesting. And then I'll see your reaction as you get onto your phone. Wait a minute, it's Gabby. She's calling me. Yeah. Barry's just teaching me the game now, so we can play it tonight. Yeah, okay. All right. You got red on you. Okay. I'll see you down the week. Bye.
Awesome. All right. Well, tell us how people can get a hold of us, Barry.
I think I just did, didn't I?
No.
Oh, sorry, I was on the phone.
Yeah, you didn't do nothing.
No, I didn't do nothing. So what? Didn't you already say board games everybody should? And
yeah, that's where you can go see the contest. But what about all the other fun stuff you're supposed to talk about?
Okay.
Our guild. How about our guild?
Yes.
It's real. It's real.
It's
There it
believable,
is.
Babel. Yes, you can find us on
Oh.
Board Game Geek, Guild number 2248. Go there and like us or give us a hug. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. Give us some suggestions for what shows we should do or what guests we should do. No, that's wrong. What guests we should interview and what games you'd like us to review. You can catch us on
and
Facebook as well.
topics. We need some. Feed us with some ideas that you have for a Babble topic. Go to the Guild and interact with us. Interact with us on our Twitter and our Facebook. You can go to Facebook, Berkey and Badger. We're always doing stuff there.
Yeah, we're always doing stuff on there, like posting pictures of hairy men with beards.
Yes.
Pictures. And then obviously there's Board Game Theatre and BoardGamesEverybodyShould.com, where you can find a little segue to Berkey and Badger's show. But you can also check out what we're doing on our own without each other. Life is so lonely without you, Berkey.
Yes, I know that. Yes, and yeah. Hey, we got a super exciting upcoming show too with Jamie from Trick Track coming up on our next episode. And we've got some interesting topics to talk about. We're going to talk about our top game designers and some exciting stuff. So and you can go to the Berkey and Badger page, or you can go to boardgametheater.com or Board Games Everybody Should, and you'll see all the archived episodes. So check us out there. You can see the YouTube live stuff, or you can get the audio version on iTunes and Stitcher. And guys, if you could help us out so that we could spread the word, that would be really great. Like on Board Game Links, or going to and writing a review for us on iTunes. It helps us get up there a little bit. And
leave a comment and tell me why you think I'm funny. Is it my eyebrows?
Yeah. Yeah, and Berkey and Badger, I rarely go to Facebook, but I do check out your wall.
Okay.
We're gonna build a wall.
Yeah, there's guitars on it,
build the wall.
as you can see. Yeah, they're all talking. I'm getting thirsty because they're all talking about what they like to drink, and
I know
Ricky Kid doesn't like alcohol.
We're trying to end the show. Yeah. Iced tea, coffee, water, tea. I don't like alcohol. I like alcohol.
Yeah, my Vulcan blood is dried up, and it's ready to come out the other end.
My coffee, yeah, I got problems too. Plumbing problems right now. I got too much coffee in me.
I'm gonna fill this one up.
All right, we need to end this train wreck.
Yeah, it's a train
wreck. Hey, Barry, as always, man, so much fun. Thank you so much again, and thank you everybody for listening. Guys, interacting with us, such a hoot. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes, you make our show for us. You make us funny.
Yes,
it's you that make this show.
Yes.
Maybe it'll be you on the show next time we do a special guest slot which says you can be a guest.
That's right.
Like we did with Philip Millman. And look what happened to him.
Yes, worldwide success.
Yes.
That's what will be yours, baby.
Okay.
It's very possible with the Jack Vassell Memorial Fund that we will be offering an opportunity again for you to join us on the show. Yes. And then you'll be a worldwide success. You'll be a phenom. You'll be a world changer. You'll be a hit. A hit.
Yeah, hit. So I'm going to replace my dragon and also drain the snake. Maybe that's a bit too adult. So I'll say
no, Barry, I don't believe you said that.
Thank you for listening or for watching.
It's been great.
It's been fun. We need to come up with a little catchphrase like that so we can end the show. It's been great. It's been fun. It's been Berkey and Badger.
I'm so glad we had this time
music,
together.
Barry, shut up.
Just to laugh and sing a song.
I can hear the wife
but
calling.
Before you know it, it's over, and it's time to say so long.
Dun, 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 dun. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get started on the Barry and Berkey show tonight. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom.
Oh, dear.
There it is.
we're so glad we had this time together. And now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Turkey and Badger will be back in no time.
Bloopers, 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 bloopers. Gareth doesn't know that you're looking at him.
And we got